So you'll be able to see also when you are live. All right. Hello, hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. A pleasure to be here once again. Hi, Amy.
Oh,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Oh, thank you. Once again, we are here having conversations with the Mamos, well, conversations about the Mamos and conversations about the task, how we are all, everything is interconnected.
Yeah.
Again, my name is Claudia. I guess my name does not appear in there. My name is Claudia. I am in Finland, actually. And it's Amy here. Where are you, Amy?
I'm in British Columbia, Canada.
And we are here just uniting forces in this mission that we have.
That's
So I guess
right.
we could just talk a little bit about why are we doing this. So why are we doing these missions? Why are we helping, quote unquote, helping, because it's not helping the Mamos, but it's, I guess, our part. I guess in this case
Yeah.
is maybe being a breach. What is the reason of all this?
I think originally they said that perhaps it was our task. It was our task. It was they refer to themselves as our elder brothers, and we are their younger brothers, and it was the task of the younger brothers to step into their role as guardians of this planet and to do the work to take care of this planet in all ways, physically, energetically, etc. And we were not waking up in time, so they were called to come down off the mountain and to start doing this work because it needed to be done, but the rest of humanity just was not waking up in time to complete these necessary planetary tasks. So that's what they're doing. I don't think that they ever left their mountain before this. This is all new to them. And well, they've been doing it for a few years now. I'm not actually sure how many years they've been doing these planetary tasks where they actually come down off their mountain and go out into the world to do these activations, to do these reconciliations. Yeah, so I think it was supposed to originally be our role, that they're working to kind of fill in that missing component because we didn't do it. That's my understanding. That's how I understood it. Have you heard that before?
I
Other than
heard that.
possibly from me?
Yeah, no, I did hear. I did hear that from them as well too. In one of the meetings that we had,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess also my understanding too when I asked the guides, my guides too about all of this and what I'm receiving, is that everything is changing constantly, and the future doesn't exist. You know, we created as we are right now, but sometimes well, not sometimes, there's things that we cannot change because have created a big momentum. So we can change a few things, or the what was that word they said, it's just the intensity. Some circumstances can be changed or even lessened. For example, the duration of some, what we call, I would not like to use that word, but is that what it's coming, like a catastrophe or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they have also associated these, for example, with Nostradamus, for example. Many people have said, okay, well, he wasn't that good because many of his prophecies haven't come into happen. It's like, that's good, because if it didn't happen, it's because then we have done some changes about it. And we need at least, what was it? I think it was a 2 or 3% of the population of the planet to be in some sort of a consciousness to do these massive changes. And my understanding, or at least also what the Kogis and Candy, which he's the leader and this the speaker for them,
I'm
one of
the ambassador.
the
Yep.
ambassador of,
Mhm.
from one of the tribes.
Mhm.
The understanding is that right at this point where we are is the awakening has happened, and they knew that already from a long time ago. But now we need the order, and because some things didn't when they were supposed to go, now they have to come down from the mountain, just like you said. And they don't come. The Mamos will not come down unless it's necessary. There is some part of the tribes and some people, they are already coming down, and just to kind of integrate themselves also with the new world, but like the world that we have right now. And like Candy, for example, through his music, he also shares the message that he receives from Gaia, because basically they are the speakers, the voice of Mother Earth.
Mhm.
And also, Mamos are the connection that they have with the other realms,
Yeah.
super, how there is crazy.
Yeah.
So they message for us the, reconciliations with the earth. It's a simple message that when we hear this message, it's hard to understand. Is that what do you mean that reconciliation? The world is a mess. So what do we do? How do I do that? And when we hear something that simple, like a step outside and walk barefoot, people will say, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And that's exactly our disconnection with all that is, because we are not remembering who we are, and that's what is happening right now. And the idea of this reconciliation with Gaia is to understand our role in here, to understand who we are. That I guess people can now tell that we're a spirit having a human experience, and all that we hear that often and over and over. And the truth is it's not really that complex. We we think it's very difficult because we think that we have to suffer, and that's where we have been for the longest time.
Yeah.
So that's why they're here, and they are doing their part. And to my understanding, just like at the beginning when we started with this mission, I wasn't sure what was my part, or it was for them. And one of the things that they say is not for us. People are not helping us or doing things for us.
Yeah.
It's all of us. It's for all of us. And their task is to be there because they are the guardians of these specific chips that they're going to be put and set in some specific places. So they are
The stones.
the
Yeah.
stones, and they call it the chips, and they're like these stones that, like we talked about it last week, they don't seem like they're from this planet, and to my understanding, they are not from this planet.
Yeah.
So they have some properties that are very important, and they have to be in specific places, and they have to connect the net, and that's what their job is. And for many of us, the task is also be there, or even doing that to a different level.
Yeah.
And for all of us also, it's like right now what we are doing, being here, sharing this for those ones who don't know, or all of a sudden they're like, oh, I resonate, because that's the soul of the call. And I guess we're just, it's like, hey, remember, because your soul will remember if you feel the call.
Yeah.
You just feel it. And I see it, for example, with your experience, that was, one of the clearest one, because, how you feel the call to be involved into
Yeah, and
this.
there was no mental component. There's no, well, there, I mean, the mental component comes in afterwards. You get that heart call and you're like, yeah, I'm doing that. That's where I'm going, with no real thought about it. And later the mind will creep in and be like, well, is this right? Should I be doing this? But before the mind comes in to jumble everything up, that heart is just, this is the right direction to go, and this is where we're going. Yeah,
That's
definitely.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. And so basically, the intentions also from this podcast that we are doing is to share some of our own experiences that we have had through these meetings with them,
Mhm.
and what we have gathered. And of course, each one of us, what we receive through our guidance. And part of our mission is to be here as well too, and share it with you.
That's right.
And whoever feels the call, just to do what your soul is telling you to do. That, I guess, is just basically it. And one of the things that we will take again from the last session is that when they were talking about that the planetary task, what they're doing, if it's not done, we are not going to receive the information or the frequency, the messages, the clear guidance, or and all the names that we can give them properly. It comes distorted, and it's
Which
like
is how it is right now. Like it's
it is. Yeah,
distorted. We can connect with the planet.
yeah,
We can do what we can to receive messages now, but I think what they're saying is that the messages aren't as clear as they could be. They come through with some kind of distortion. I'm kind of a little bit unclear about that, but that's my understanding of what they were saying.
yes, the same thing. That's why I felt it too, because I was asking, well, what about these people? We are meditating, now we're meditating and we are getting these connections and all that. And he's like, yeah, you are. It's like, what was the example that he was saying? The breathing. Everybody is breathing, but not necessarily the purest air. So we have to purify the air, if you will, so that you're able to get, the benefits from that. And their task is to do that. And their task is to go there physically and to do these activations, because they are the guardians of these specific stones. And these are actually, they are beings, they're elemental beings. They are actually have consciousness. So
The stones do.
the stones do, yes.
Yeah.
So these stones are they're in Europe, in the heart chakra of the planet, which is in Switzerland. And what we find out a little bit about this mission was that, surprisingly, why they are there, being held and keeping, safe until they're able to be returned to the right places. But they cannot leave the place unless they are healed, because they feel, Candy's words were like, they are feeling upset because they were removed from where they belong. So they have to be cleansed, they have to be healed before they can be taken back, or at least close by where they belong. So that is a process. And although they are absolutely self-sufficient themselves as communities and their tribes and all that, to do this kind of tasks requires the assistance of all of us, because our planet is all of us. We are actually here doing this. That's one of the reasons that we are here on Earth. I would say most than 95% of the souls right now at this moment, we are here exactly we came here to do this, to help this assist in this planetary ascension. People will call it ascension, or some people will come to work just with the planet. Some people are coming just to work with the humanity. Some people with both. Some people just being here as a just being here. There's many, but we are here with this intention. So in one shape or form, we are all bringing something important. And just, yeah, it's just how it happens. It's just, I have to say, it's just magical. It just doesn't make any sense. And the messages are quite simple but very strong, and very much appreciate one of the last messages that he shared about rituals, for example, because a lot of people wonder about these rituals and what do they do, and we are so caught up with these ideas right now that even spirituality has been distorted to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
They keep saying that there is so much information and we are confused, and that's why they want to bring the order, because there is all that information, but it has to be organized, if you will, so that we are able to be anchoring this cosmic, this galactic information down to the earth, so there's a full connection. The Wi-Fi will be, in better shape. They were talking about that when we do rituals like bringing crystals or bringing, I don't know, our Palo Santo or sage or whatever, we consider that to be so sacred that we forget one of the most important things, that is breathing. That's so sacred, and we don't even take that into account. And
So it gives life in every breath.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, and that, at least for them, or in their view, to teach you how to do something will actually disconnect you more from who you are. And that was one of the biggest messages that last time, in the last meeting that we had, came through, which I thought that's amazing. It resonates a lot, because at least my guides also, they told me the same thing, right? A lot of people want to receive how to do this and that, because they don't know how to do it, and the idea is just to help them how they discover that about themselves, so that you understand who you are, and just perhaps finding you some tools, but no one can tell you how or what to do or what to believe. So you have
It
to discover that.
Yeah, it ends up being slightly formulaic, like a math
Yes,
equation. This is how you add. You put this number here and that sign there, and then you hit the equal sign and you get your answer. And it's not that way. It's not so formulaic. So if people are given formulas thinking this is how I get my answer, it's not going to work that way. Although I can tell you, fumbling around in the dark, trying to figure it out for yourself in your own path. I mean, hey, we're all on that path. This is the hero's journey, right? It's the hero's journey, trying to find our way with our little bag over our shoulder and our little dog at our side, as we picturing the fool in the tarot deck. So yeah, the hero's journey. We're all on it.
absolutely. And the thing is that it's okay also to use whatever tools you think that you need. See, in that hand, my guides were sharing with me, it's okay if you feel like today you need to use a crystal like your feather, like Dumbo feather, right? So that helps you today to go, it's okay. But to say that this is the only rock or the only crystal that will help you to do this or
Yeah.
that, then that's a different story. That's
Yeah.
not how it works. But you can have a tool that can help you in some days. Some tools sometimes you will need more than others.
Yeah.
But the most important thing, or at least our message, is that uh, is connecting with our hearts and connecting our heartbeat with the heartbeat of the earth, and the heartbeat of the earth with the heartbeat of the center of the universe, with the creator. When we do that, somehow we feel in our center. It is really that simple, especially right now. I don't know how you guys are feeling, but these energies after this planetary alignment, the seven planets in the 28th of February, and then we had right now the eclipse, and then we just had Mercury in retrograde right now. So if you see me quite slow, that's the effect of Mercury in retrograde doing its thing, its job. And now we have the equinox, and then we have solar flares coming from the sun, and that is making us feel. Everyone is different, but some people are feeling quite sick. Some people are feeling uh, super energized, and that's okay too. But some people are feeling, or at least in our home, there has been diarrhea. It has been heart palpitations, anxiety,
Mhm.
insomnia. It has been emotional breakdowns at the moment. Everybody's happy and then everybody's sad. Myself, I've been feeling like, oh my God, I got up this morning and I was feeling like, what is happening? And I just feel like so irritable, and little thing would just throw me off, and
Yeah.
old patterns and things like that. So the best thing that you can do is just step outside, go and ground yourself, and that's going to help you to feel much better. It's going to help you to anchor all this energy that is coming, because what the guys were sharing is all these updates that we are receiving is affecting our DNA. It is updating our DNA. These cosmic pulses that we are receiving. So it's higher frequency, and because it's higher frequency, our body will take a toll on that because we are dense. And so it takes some time for our body to catch up with this much energy. And so many of you perhaps are also feeling super tired and wanting to sleep, exhausted. And it's
Mhm.
not a bad thing. It's just that you are trying to integrate all of this energy.
Yeah.
And what it's doing too with the eclipses is the emotions, they are coming out. They're helping you to see the things that you haven't paying attention, that you ignore they are there, or that we truly ignore and we don't want to see them. And
Yeah.
this is connected with one of the messages from the Mamos that we were talking the other day, is about the connection with our mother. What is the connection with your mother? Because this is the theme, actually, especially this year. So that way we will understand also what is our connection with our mother. And
Mhm.
last week we talked a little bit about it, but part of this, the message of this mission, and I would like to say something, that to get to Switzerland, there is many missions in between. There is one that is happening right now that they have to do an activation. I do not know exactly where, but in March, right now, 19th, the 21st,
Yes.
there is one activation right there that needs to be done. And this
Yes.
it needs to be done. So we will go to the ways that you can be part of that. But um, anyways, so the whole thing for the whole theme from this year's many themes, but one of the biggest ones is to have our connection back to Gaia. And again, I would like to share this with perhaps for the people who didn't hear it before, is that what the guys were sharing is the following. When a mother is pregnant, the baby receives all the comfort, all the support through the heartbeat of the mother. And the baby feels happy, the baby feels everything, whatever the mother is feeling, right? And the heartbeat is one of the biggest things, because that's what can hear. The frequency that is there is a pure frequency. When the baby is born and they take the baby away and the baby starts crying, nothing can, stop the baby until the baby comes to the chest of the mother and once again listens to the heartbeat. And that makes him feel safe, secure, taken care of. And the same thing is for us. Right now, we are being disconnected from our Mother Earth. So we are crying. We feel lost. We feel not supported. I see quite a bit right now. A lot of people talking about they don't feel the support from their mothers, or they don't feel supported by the world in general. They feel that there is not a place to be, and many things that are lead to the mother energy. So what the angels and the guys were sharing with me was that connect with the relationship that you have with your mother, or that you had with your mother. And it's not about blaming or anything, but it's just so you understand the why you feel like that, and that you can always connect once again with that, with the heartbeat, and you understand that there is always support. Gaia's message has been quite strong for the past few years. She gives us the food, the water, the medicine, everything that we need. She will give you our shelter. Everything comes from Gaia, just like a mother will look after her child. So even her message was connect with her and connect with our own mother. So that's going to help us to navigate these energies and understand why sometimes we don't feel supported. Is because of that.
So what would we say to, what we want to say to people who have a very difficult relationship with their mother, or they're not even communicating with their mother? There's like, my relationship is non-existent. What would the angels or your guides recommend for that? How do you connect with your mother if the relationship is
what
non-functional?
they will share is that you just take a moment to connect with your inner child, with the little Claudia, little Amy. Especially, I'm pretty sure what they said is like there is a moment in time that you remember something that make an impact for you. Maybe you wanted to something from your mom and nothing, and something didn't happen. Doesn't matter how old were you. Say, you needed some help with something so simple or basic, but that make you understand that maybe your mom was not there for you, or you felt judged, or you feel that that disconnection. And so you talk to your child, to your inner child, and you can just let her know that everything is okay, basically that you are fine, and that you understand why it feels hurt. But you also understand one thing now, because when we are more aware of this and spirituality, is that she has a role to play. And maybe this kind of just breaks a little bit of the magic of our reality here, but we all have our roles to play, and that could be part of your contract in here. So then each one of you are reflecting each other something, so that you are having the experience and then you can to heal the experience. And that's basically it. So then you can see it with that perspective, because if you're awake, say, and maybe the mother is not awake at all understanding this, you will never make her understand this, but you can understand with a better perspective that is her path, and you're able to see that. So then you understand and you take, okay, why did I learn from this? The tricky part right here, they said, is that of course ego gets involved, because we're gonna say, well, my mom hit me, my mom hurt me, my mom this, my mom that, is my mother, why would she do that? And that's the pain that would talk. But again, once you understand that that was part of the process, and then you understand what is showing you, and you take actions, and you're responsible, and how you react to these things, and you are aware, And when you do things towards your mom, whether it's a thought or if you see her, it comes from from your heart, where you will have more unity than your mind. With your mind, you would judge. With your heart, you will say, okay, she's trying to figure out her way too. Perhaps for her it's very difficult to say I'm sorry, or open to say, something.
Mm-hmm.
So do not put either yourself in a situation that you have to try to communicate or tell her things that she is not ready or wanting to hear, because that's a difficult path, um, especially when we are in this uh, path of like discovering things that you want to share. Like, okay, you know what? It would be so exciting for someone to go and tell your mom, it's like, you know what? There's a reason why we are doing this. You're playing this character, I'm playing this character, if you will, to
Yeah.
help us, even heal families and all that stuff. But if they're not there yet, ain't gonna work. And it just
No.
creates more conflict and it's more difficult. So the best thing is that if you are not able to communicate or even get closer to your mom, is understand this, heal your inner child or your inner adult, whenever that happened, and just like Jesus said, you are the way, you show how it's done. So you continue and trust that once you go, into the next level, once we do this transcendence and the other side, everything is fine, because deep inside, your mom is, even if the most horrible mom, is wanting you to really have the best life of your life, and they want you to be successful at a soul level.
Yeah.
And it's hard sometimes to see that, but it is. Mhm.
It can definitely be difficult for anyone who's maybe just at the starting position of that journey, and to be able to take a step back from the victimhood of the child that was injured by the parent, to take an observer's third party perspective, just to observe it as a third party, and to position yourself in a way that lets you look at it objectively and ask what was the benefit or the positive outcome that has come from this. What can I learn from this? This was divine planning, for those who believe that we pick our parents before we come down here, right? We choose our parents for the soul lessons that we want to go through, or maybe we have a contract with the mother or the father that we choose, so that we can be a catalyst in their lives. They're a catalyst for us, and we're a catalyst for them. And something I heard recently that I really appreciate was that we heal ourselves to heal our family, and we heal our family to heal the world. So it starts with us. It starts with you, and maybe you can't talk to your mom, but you can talk to your mom through journaling.
Yes.
If your inner child needs to have that motherly support feeling, then you do your inner child work, and there's no end of different types of, well, I'll use the word therapies, that you can find for yourself, that you doesn't necessarily have to put you back in the space with your mother if that's really not the best place for you to be, but there are alternative ways to do that. So yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy to take yourself out of that victimhood, like I'm owed an apology. You might never get it. And seeing it from a different perspective, instead of seeing it from the perspective of someone did something to me, someone took something from me, I wasn't supported. Changing that view of, I'm not just Amy the human, I'm an eternal being. I've been here many times. I'm sure I will be back. And every time I come down here, it's so that the people that are around me, it's the relationships that we learn from the most. We're here for relationships, right? You come down here for relationships. You're going to meet people that like you, don't like you, treat you well, don't treat you well, and all in between. And it's about how you interact with those relationships. Right? Do you uphold your own integrity regardless of what the world around you is doing? If everybody's chucking their garbage on the ground, Are you just shrugging your shoulders and doing what they're doing because the world's a mess anyway, so why bother? Or are you maintaining your own integrity and cleaning up after yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, taking out the trash and on all levels? Yeah.
Exactly. And when you just say about, writing a letter is a huge one, but another way you can do it is with your own children too. How do you heal that? So you become I guess we all do that, right? We want to be the parents that we always wanted to have and we never had, and we're always trying to better. And one thing that the guys were sharing with me the other day, just do not go into the other extreme. Say if you had a parent that was never right there with you, and you don't want to become a parent that's like over protecting the child either, just trying to bring everything into a balance.
Mm-hmm.
But it is very difficult, especially I hear like in some relationships when it's not even safe from a kid or even from someone be with a mother, or the relationship could be so toxic, how you can put a boundary, because then you feel like it's my mother.
Yeah.
How do I put out a boundary with my mother? Because supposedly a mother should be a caring, and perhaps the mother is there, but it's not healthy. So how do you put a boundary?
Yeah.
And it's important to do that because it is for your own well. And sometimes we feel this guilt. Oh, because you always are told that you have to always love your parents no matter what. And you can love them, but becomes like in a relationship, you can have a toxic relationship and somehow you believe it's okay to be hit, to be told, to be this and that. And it's a very difficult path. But I guess one thing can help is always know that, again, like you just said, how we react to it is going to be the magic of all this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not easy. Sometimes it's going to be easy. Sometimes it's going to be hard. And sometimes you feel like you went back 20 steps from what you were, but it's not. And it's not actually. We are constantly moving. We are in constant movement.
Yeah.
And another thing that is that I see often too in the situations is that we become this the mystic, what is it, not the black sheep, but even the mystic sheep. I would just put it that way, right?
Yeah.
So then on top of that, when you're having a little bit of more awareness, because I don't think it's having consciousness doesn't mean that you know it all. It's just you understand that you don't know nothing. But then you know that whatever was before, it doesn't have to be that way, and there is a way of doing things. And then it's harder because then you are changing a pattern in the family. Then you are breaking those ideas, those thoughts, those things that hold even in a family line, a pattern. And now to do that, sometimes you are the bad. You are the one who is destroying things, but in reality, what is happening, they feel that the change is happening and they are fearful because they don't know how to do it. Because when we do that, we create that ripple effect, and they know deep inside that there's time for do some changes, but they can't. And if they don't know how, it makes them feel nervous. So it's much easier to say, you are wrong, something is wrong with you, because can you see how the family, everybody is safe here, everybody's doing the same thing, you're the only one who is changing. And that is also a difficult situation for the family. And speaking your truth is not an easy task, especially right now. To be accepted sometimes.
Yeah, and sometimes when we have these contracts with our family members in this lifetime, it's like before we come down here, we make an agreement and we're like, okay, this time I'm going to be the mom and I'm going to be really oppressive to you. And I'm just going to squeeze you until you learn how to set boundaries with me. That's the lesson. I love you. You're my bestie. We're going to go down there and I'm going to treat you like garbage so that you can learn how to set boundaries. I'm going to sacrifice myself. That's a favor that I'm going to do for me. And then in the next life, you're going to be the bad guy. And we'll help each other as we come down here into this holographic universe to learn the different dynamics and play all of the different possible roles that we could possibly play to learn and to see it from all different perspectives. Yeah,
it is. And it's the funny thing is that even though sometimes you can be aware of these things, it's hard. Sometimes you forget, you're in the middle of the game and it's like you forget that, and then you just like people are being mean to me, people are not, but those are the all of those programs that we are trying to deprogram and to reset the system and bring new things, and that's part of it.
Yeah.
The best thing I feel like for me has been is just being on the moment when I feel like so confused and so I don't know, sometimes wondering if I'm doing the right thing or not, or what these things happening, or what am I missing, right? It's just to see what is showing me this. And that question alone, it just, I can still see things in a different perspective. Okay, if I feel that I'm not moving forward to something that I want, then again, it's not that way. So then just what is the other things that you're not paying attention? Then often we realize that we're trying to control everything, even the outcome. What was going to be the relationship with my mother? Said someone said, okay, I'm going to go and talk to my mom, I'm going to express how I feel, but the mom doesn't respond the way that you want it, or the mom don't even answer the message or whatever, and it creates more frustration. It's like, what am I doing wrong? I'm trying to heal. But we have to understand that it requires, from the two sides. So what would you do with that? And that's going to take you to the next level. Then if you take that again, thinking that you're the victim because again your mom is not responding to the message, even though you want to clear the things, even though you make the first step and nothing is happening, then you go back to the same story. And then it's best to say, okay, I understand. So whenever she's ready, you let her know I'm here,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll happen. And it takes some time. And sometimes it's just feels like it's forever. And all of these connections, all these things affects the micro and the micro and everywhere. So whatever we see in the world right now happening is exactly the same thing, and between all of us around the planet. All this energy that we are seeing in our families and our daily lives is happening, at the global level, and we see that. So whenever we ourselves, just like you said, look after ourselves, and we become more about who we are, and we embody our true selves, and we are working in what we think, what we do, what we say, and they're aligning with who I am, then it creates a ripple effect, and it does make a change. Someone said, no one, no, it's like one person cannot change the world. Like, okay, let's talk about Buddha, let's talk about Jesus, let's talk about how many, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yes, you can do that.
Yeah, and then but also the energy that you're putting off as you heal yourself, as you clarify your own energy and purify your own energy, you're putting that out there into the world, and people step into your sphere and into your field, they get a sense of that. You have no idea what's happening on an energetic level, what energy that they're receiving, what messaging they're receiving, whatever they might be receiving that could be a catalyst, even though all you did was stand beside them at the grocery store. They got a sample of something within their energy field that could change their path, right? You just never know.
Yes, absolutely. That's actually quite common thing. That one of the things that the guides always, or the angels always share with me, especially when people ask, okay, so how do I know that I'm listening to my angels? How do I know that I'm listening to my guides? How do I know that I'm listening to my intuition? When we ask, and first they said, if you learn how to listen to your own body, then you will be able to listen when you are receiving guidance from your angels, from your guides, from your higher self, from God, from earth, from everything. Because most of the time, it's your body. Your body is being utilized. So you have I call them the angel bumps. Even like sometimes right now, it's like, if I want to confirm that what I'm hearing is okay or is right, I get the angel bumps, and that makes me feel okay. But
Yeah.
you can have inspirations, you can have thoughts, etc., etc. So if you are hungry right now and you are avoiding to go and eat because you feel that's more important to be on the phone, you are not listening to your body and your own needs. So once you're listening to your body, because your body is telling you what you need, if you want to listen to the message from, more clearly, if you step outside or you go to the bathroom or you eat, you will get what you need.
Yeah.
So sometimes the message could be so simple. You say, okay, what do I do right now? I need to make a decision, whether, like, even big decisions, like whether you get married or not, or whether you quit your job or not. Let's just say that. And so when you ask, and all of a sudden you hear or you sense that, or something comes into your mind, and they say, okay, go and drink some water. And you start thinking, it's like, oh my God, water, what is that? I'm just making up things. But think about it for a moment. They said, you don't have water at home, so maybe you have to go outside, just like you said. You go outside, you go to the store and buy some water. Maybe you meet the love of your life. Maybe you find the person that is going to lead you to the next job or whatever. It's that simple. But we feel that it's complicated. And when we ask for something, we tend to have expectations and how it's supposed to happen. And most of the things do not make sense. We feel that if we are doing something, how is that going to help? Because sometimes we don't see the return right away, but it's moving behind the scenes is huge. And that's part of the trusting process. And if we don't trust on ourselves, and if we don't have the trust, especially connecting with the mother, because we don't feel that we can trust someone. If you are trusting your mom is the being that, is supposed to be right there nurturing everything. If you feel like you cannot trust her, you don't trust yourself, then how can you trust the universe, the guidance, or whatever you're receiving? So it's important to connect. And how do you do that? Connecting with your heart, and connecting with the heartbeat of the earth.
Yeah. And just keep working on it and get that practice going.
Endless. So sometimes, I think I have shared this several times before, but often when even at home with my children, for example, sometimes I can just lose my patience, right? And I raise my voice, and it comes the Mexican in me, like almost sandal coming out or kind of thing. And my son, one time he told me, "Mommy, I thought that the meditation was helping you. It was supposed to keep you chill." And I was like, you know what? It's because of the meditation that the sandal is not on your head right now. So, thank you.
This could be worse.
This could be worse. So
yes.
Let's just keep it like that. So it's just one of the things that we have to remember, that is, we have to have compassion towards ourselves. And that's one of the messages from the guides. You have to have compassion with yourself, because if you understand here all of the things that we are talking and that you have learned and all that, it's not easy sometimes. And you go through the process and you feel like you fail. You're not failing. Just continue doing what you're doing, and use every single tool that you have, whatever works for you. If for you helps you to have this little ball of a tinfoil in your hand, and that helps you for you to do whatever, do it.
As Bashar calls them permission slips, right?
The permission slips. The permission slip could be anything, because in reality, and one day maybe in the next episode, I will share an experience that we had when we were doing activations ourselves 2 years ago in Mexico, in the pyramids, where we're working with energy, we're working with all the beings and everything, and we have an encounter with other beings that we have to talk about the understanding that there is no good or bad. It's just polarity, positive or negative. But we were talking about something important about, they're talking about the rituals or the closing a system and this and that. And the most important thing to understand is that you do not need anything, nothing. It's just you are the key, you are the bridge, you have everything within you, and that's it. But because we are in the process of doing that, at this moment, we kind of need, either we have the crystal or we have the oracle cards that can help us to, in a way, validate what you're hearing. Because often, when you're taking a message, you're already listening to something. And when you put an image to that, then people and ourselves, we get to see this as like, okay, that makes sense. So it's just kind of like another little validation. So be compassionate, take your time, don't be so harsh with yourself. And
so and a lot of people are here to learn how to be compassionate toward others.
Yes.
And other people still are here to learn how to be compassionate toward themselves.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a hard thing. We hold such a high standard for ourselves, and I shouldn't be losing my temper. I shouldn't be throwing my sandal at my children. I shouldn't be yelling. I shouldn't be raising my voice. All of these things, and it can be very hard to have compassion for the human that we are. We are human. We are not. I am human. I have my limits and that I can if I get pushed beyond them, it's not going to necessarily look very pretty if I'm pushed beyond what I can handle. And that's just the limitations of being human and being in a human world where other people have their limitations as well. Like I've got a 7-year-old daughter, and maybe she's beyond what she can handle and she loses the plot, and then I'm already at the end of my limitations, and then we're both just having our own temper tantrums together, and it's just, you just get to the end of your rope. But how are you going to beat yourself up for it? Or are you going to look at yourself and be like, yeah, I can
Yeah,
see why you had you were struggling there. I can see why you haven't slept 3 nights in a row and this, that, this, and the other. I can see why you would have got to the end of your rope there. That was really hard. That was a hard stretch. Don't worry. Let's get some good sleep tonight. Tomorrow's a whole new day to try again.
exactly. And,
Yeah.
another thing is that, but also, my understanding of what I have experienced myself, and and most of this guidance from the guides and the angels too, is that once you're doing changes, you don't never go back to what you were before. Never. You're always moving. Maybe we tend to go maybe a little bit slow if you want sometimes, but like you just said right now, you lost your temper, but then you realize like, oh my God, I lost my temper. Okay, I have promised myself that I was not going to do that. The fact that you have already caught yourself doing that, you're already in the movement of changing. So maybe before you will not even be able to catch up into that, right? You would just continue doing it and just ignore the whole thing. So eventually you will start notice that it will happen less, or you will not snap so easy. You are more aware of that, but it's a process that's going to take us all our lives.
It does take some time. If anybody thinks that you're going to go from snapping to instantly not snapping and being, Jesus or Mother Mary overnight after having a nap.
Well, hold on a second. Even Jesus lost his temper, right? Outside
Right,
of the
and then you
temple.
flip the tables or something.
Exactly. He even lost his temper too. And there's a few stories about Jesus that people don't know about him. And he was a kid as well too, what he went through and all that. But the thing is that it's just, we have to first starting to have compassion towards ourselves. And once we are having that towards ourselves and we understand that, then we will have compassion for others. And I'm bringing back a little bit of another message from Jesus too, because one of the things that I think it was in the what is the Book of Miracles? I think that's what it's called.
A Course in Miracles.
The Course of Miracles. Yes,
Yeah.
one of those teachings or one of those parts that Jesus talks about is that to have unconditional love is a difficult thing, because we are humans and we are run by emotions, and we always say, oh, if this person wasn't like that, then it would be easier, right? Yeah. So we're conditioned in someone. So when you love someone unconditional, you will love them whether they are this or that. And I guess the task comes when, say, you're presented with a situation like something bad. Let's say someone does something really, really bad towards another human being, and especially with little human beings, I say, because that's very hard, especially what we see right now. We just actually on the news, I just happened to see that they found almost like the Holocaust in Mexico, somewhere in Mexico, which is what happened in Germany. It was in Mexico. They found like so many shoes of little kids, and it was just a horrendous story. And I thought like, oh my God. So those things, it just makes you feel angry, right? It's like, why? What would happen? What just happening there? And so you find the person who did that. What you want to do is beat them to death, basically, because why would they do so much damage to someone, right?
Time out. You're in an energetic timeout. Go back to God. Have a think about what you've done. Don't come back here until you know. Yeah.
Exactly. But here's the thing, in the eyes of God, or let's say even Jesus will say, so now imagine that person or those people who did those horrendous things as if they were 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
You would not react the same way. You will wonder what the hell would happen to this little kid to do that, right? Or when even some people do things and maybe not so bad, or whatever we call bad, but something that is not so huge like that, then you want to say a little thief, right? And so what happened in their lives? for
Yeah.
them to do that. When you go there, you go into the more the compassion, like what went wrong? Because at the end of the day, they were little kids too at one point, maybe having dreams they want to become this or that. What happened?
Yeah.
Because when they're born, when we are all born, we come with these intentions. And although there are some people that came to play those roles as well too, the
Yeah.
majority are not. And something went wrong in there. And so
Yeah.
here we are judging people. Here we are saying, "Oh, these people, we have to analyze them because they did that." But we're doing exactly the same thing. Who gives you the right to do that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just kind of takes us to this rabbit hole. So that's why this disconnection that we have, and always blaming others and all that, it's just we have to understand that that's basically what the Mamos also always reminds us, is that we are responsible for our own actions. There is not like, because of this person did this, I did that. If you see that and if you are aware, the guys were saying, before you had this knowledge right now and you understand that you can change your reality, uh, before that, before you knew this, maybe you can consider that maybe you were a victim because you had no idea. But now that you have this knowledge, now you have this understanding,
Mm-hmm.
then you're not a victim. You're responsible. So with knowledge comes responsibility. And
Yeah.
it's not an easy task. And that's why being compassionate is very, very important. And this important thing to do, understand too, is that anyone who's listening to this, to understand that you are not alone. You have guides, you have angels, and many times people think of angels in a very religious way, but
Mm-hmm.
they're not. Nothing to do with that. I mean, but then you have guides and you have beings that are from even other places out there. And little by little, the veil is lifting. Little by little, many of you will be connecting with you in ways that you just know that you're not making this up. And the veil is lifting up. Many people are all of a sudden seeing things or having these dreams, wondering whether it was true or not, what they were experiencing. And that it's part of your remembrance, because that's what you are getting. That's why you are getting all of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I think that was a good chat about our relationships with our mothers, which we're all working on. I'm wondering if you have any interest in checking in with the Kogi Mamos who are not physically here to see if they have any messages for us
I
today.
should do that. If you just give me a moment, I'm gonna step up
Sure.
for a second. I'm gonna go to the bathroom really quick, actually.
Oh,
But in the
sure.
meantime, would you like to talk to people how can be they can be part of this next session with the mammals if they want to be there? And
Sure.
maybe you can put on the text messages the links, and I'll be right back. Will not take me long.
Sure. Oh dear, do I know how to put the links on? Let's see here. I might not know
Or
how to
just
put
talk
the
about it.
links on.
I can just put them
Sure.
in there too.
Okay, sure. So we are working with the Kogi and the Mamos, and we have a regularly scheduled monthly meeting with them. We had one on I want to say March 6th, I think. I'm just going to look at the calendar, make sure I get my dates right. They're at the same time as these chats are. So we had it with them on this. Oh, it was on the 2nd. It was on the 2nd of March, and the next one is going to be on the 30th of March. And we will actually be having a Zoom conversation with the Kandi, who is the ambassador of the Kogi, and we speak to him very frequently. If the Mamos are able to make it, if they're not in there, they often go off on meditative works for days at a time. They'll be in meditation for days at a time. So if they're available, they will join us. If they're not, that's okay. We'll still be with Kandi, and he is able to receive messages from Gaia and guide us in those lessons. That is going to be on March 30th, and we are asking for a donation, as this is a joint effort. We want to share the wisdom and the knowledge and bring awareness to the work that they are doing, that we are doing, and also we are trying to raise funds for their physical travel to physically transport the stones, which is quite expensive. If you can imagine, shipping stones from Switzerland to Colombia is very expensive. So we are trying to raise funds for that. So we are asking for a making a suggested donation of $25 for everyone to join us when we have our conversation next with the Kogi and potentially the Mamos on March 30th. And Claudia, if you are able to put a link in the chat, and you can find out more about that. I will update our website. I'm the person that does the website, which is Ether and Cord. You can see it down at the bottom underneath my name, AETHERANDCORD.com. And I will put that, I'm trying to think what page I'll put that on. Oh, that's ways to support, I think. So yeah, there it is. There's the sign up page. She's got it in the chat. It's called calendly.com. There's the link that you can go to sign up for the next event with the Kogi. And that's going to take you to registration. And for the people who speak English, we used a Calendly account that was set up in Spanish, but don't worry about that. There will be Spanish speakers. The Kogi's first language is not Spanish. Some of them have a secondary language of Spanish, and we will have a translator. I personally do not speak Spanish, so we will have someone there to translate from Spanish to English. And as I was saying, the Calendly account that we used was set up is a Spanish account, but everything will come through in both languages. Yeah, so we'll just wait for Claudia to come back. Yeah. So yeah, we are looking for people to help support these planetary tasks. It's so expensive. So expensive. Claudia and I were just talking before we started this live that we've been buying lottery tickets to try and, help to cover the cost of things because it is so expensive. But if everybody just pitched in a tiny amount, we could have these things covered very easily. So we are asking for everybody to help if they can.
Hello, I'm back here. Sorry, it has been quite slow. The Mercury in retrograde is doing its job, as we can see.
Yeah.
So I'm putting all these links right here.
Okay, and, perfect.
I'm gonna put the link right now. So yes, just like Amy was saying, thank you so much for being in here too. We shall have a quick connection, see what they have for us, a little message. Beautiful. And I'm just trying to get the webpage right here, and I will send it to you in a moment. But I don't know if you can see me, and if I'm stuck or not.
No, you're not stuck.
Okay, hopefully I don't. It seems like I'm quite robotic right now.
A little bit, but your voice is coming through perfectly well.
That's the most important thing. You don't need to see me. Yeah. You don't need to see me. Okay, I'm just clicking right here, sending the Ether and Core webpage. Perfect. There it is.
Okay.
All right. So the intention also of this on the meeting after. Oh yeah, I don't know if that part. I don't know if you already mentioned that, but in the meeting with the Mamos, the Kogis, afterwards, we will do an integration of the information. So yes. One of the things that happens is when we are receiving all this information, we're having all these words and everything. Everything stays in our energy field. And sometimes it could be overwhelming, and trying to understand everything is difficult, and especially with these messages. They are very simple, so we are invited to listen everything with our heart, not with our minds, not trying to make logic or sense of anything that what is being said. it's best if we actually not trying to make sense of anything and allow everything just to come through our soul. And that's what happens most of the time with the words and just the presence in general. Everything is energy. So at the end, we would do this connection. So we will integrate the information. And thank you so much for being here, for your support. Thank you for helping us. Perhaps you can just help us with a like that or to share
Sharing,
this.
yeah.
Sharing will help us a lot for people who, maybe that person, someone needs to hear this. So we will close our eyes for a moment. So let's all have a little grounding right here. Let's just take a moment to take a deep breath through your nose, bringing the air all the way to your tummy. Inhale and bring all the air to your tummy. Hold it and exhale through your mouth, releasing all of it. Hold your breath. Inhale. Hold it. Exhale. Hold it. And let's do it one more time. Inhale. Hold it. And exhale. Now begin to breathe rhythmically, only through your nose. Inhaling and exhaling through your nose. And bring your awareness to your heart. And see, imagine, or feel your heart opening. You might be able to see, you might be able to hear or sense a light, a golden light that begins to show with each breath. Inhale, and your heart opens. Exhale, and the light becomes brighter and brighter. Inhaling, and you can see the light. Exhale, and the light expands all around your body, reaching out in each cell, molecule in your body. And without judgment, just become aware of the quality of light that you are emitting. Don't judge, just observe whether it is a little bit murky or there might be some spots that are darker than others. Just become aware. And now feel how a beautiful light comes from the bottom of your head. This ray of light comes from the center of the universe, from the one infinite creator. Comes from above, entering from your crown chakra, from your crown all the way down to your heart. And now goes down through your legs, through the bottom of your feet, passing all the layers of the earth, reaching to the center of the earth and connecting with Gaia. And now feel, sense the heartbeat of the earth. And your heartbeat begins to resonate, vibrate at the same tempo as the earth. And just feel how the energy of the earth comes back to you, entering your body, feeling the love, the care from Gaia, understanding that you are always guided, understanding that you are supported in each step you take in your journey. Your light, your legs, your feet are roots. See yourself as a tree and sense how this light once again goes out of your head and reaches the center of the universe, where you connect your heartbeat with the heartbeat of the one infinite creator. And feel how the unconditional love comes back down to your heart. And this light, this exchange, is a constant exchange. It's constant. And now feel how from the center of your heart, the light begins to expand outside of your body, creating a bubble, a toroid, just like if you were an apple, the seeds being your heart, and this magnetic field that is calibrated in balance with all that is. Don't look for any validations. Don't look for anything outside of you. Each one of you are the key. You are the key for your own door. Do not try to open others' doors. Do not allow others to open your door. You have the unique combination, the unique configurations to open your own doors that opens the path that each one of you came here to walk. There is no punishment. There is no rewards. There is simple, and that is all there is. There is nothing, and it is all. Don't try to look for gifts. Don't try to look for something that already is within. Take action in the things that you want just for the fact that you enjoy doing things. You didn't come here to earth to accumulate things that you will never take. You came here to earth to experience what the emotions are, to connect, to integrate, to collaborate. All you need is always available. Are you able to see? Are you able to comprehend that whatever you need to survive, you already have it? What else are you looking for? There is nothing else that you need to survive. You have everything you need. Would you like to have other things? That's a different story. And that is okay, because part of your experience here on earth is also to understand what is the material life, the material experience. But are you being led only by that? What are the most important things for you? What are your priorities? Why are you doing what you're doing? Each one of you has the potential to create whatever you wish. Now, we want to ask you, are you doing it from your heart? Because we will tell you that the times where people will use the knowledge, the wisdom for oneself are no longer getting away with that. It is time for balance. It is time to restore everything to the original blueprint. And many of you are here to do that. And it's not an easy task because there is patterns, there's ideas, there are belief systems that are pushing you towards one way. We must remind you that if you are in your heart, you will find a way. If you are in your mind, you will get confused. Remember to relocate yourselves in the place that brings joy at any given time. What makes you happy? And every single task of your life and your reality, whatever is it that you do, if you connect with the passion of joy and gratitude, you will always be doing what you meant here to do. And when you're experiencing things that you don't like, it's just a way for you to see that that is not the path. Don't try to hold on to things that are not good for you. All of you are guided by your own guides, angels, but you are also guided by elementals. Whatever you live on the world, whatever you are in the world, there are beings. They are guardians of the forest, territories, locations. They're always assisting the system for everyone to connect, almost like a highway. Many of you are going in the wrong direction. And how do you know if you're going to the wrong direction? When everything that you do is short and will not let you move forward. It's just like a labyrinth. Many paths look the same, but at one point, if it's not the right path, you will find yourself going in circles or going against the wall. So then you have to take a new direction. Be patient and understand the reality that you are creating is a co-creation of all of you. Have compassion for yourself and have compassion for others. You are always supported. You are loved. You are cared. What kind of words you will have for yourself? What kind of world would you like to see and experience? And you shall have it. Your wish is my command. Tomorrow is every second. You can start now, experiencing the life that you wish. What would you like to do today? What will make you happy? Laugh, dance, And that will be our suggestion for you today. We are here, we are watching, we are supporting you, calling the help from your angels, your guides. In gratitude, thank you for all of you who are here from far and beyond. Take a deep breath. Exhale. And begin to bring your awareness in the room, in the place where you are, to your body. Begin to move your legs, your arms. Whenever you feel ready, you can open your eyes. Well,
Lovely.
thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for them, for the support. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We will see you here next week. And again, if you want to be part of the meeting with the Mamos, it is on the 30th. Their link is right here in the comment. And if you can just follow all on the social media, you can find more information on whatever else happens, because you never know, many things could happen. I want to say thank you to Amy. Thank you for all your support too.
Thank you. And you're welcome.
Bye for now.
Bye, everybody.